The world remembers the devastating tsunami that struck Sri Lanka and other countries in 2004. Two people drowned in Katun area. Russian opposition leader barred from running against Putin in 2018.
An incident that left an indelible mark of shock, grief and tragedy in Sri Lanka's history occurred 13 years ago. The tragic incident took place exactly at 9:25 in the morning on the 26th of December 2004 and have since then been commonly referred to as the Boxing Day tsunami world over. More than 250,000 people lost their lives across 14 countries on that day. 13 years on, Newsfirst looks at some of the memories of nature's fury.
25th December 2004. Many across the world were still celebrating Christmas. Boxing Day in Sri Lanka was Udua full moon Poya Day, and many were in temples across the country giving priority to religion. While many were enjoying the long holidays to mark the end of the year, something unexpected happened in the deep seas of the Indonesian island of Sumatra. An earthquake with a magnitude of 9.0 struck in the deep seas at 6:58 Sri Lankan time, sending shock waves across Indonesia and surrounding islands. Though the earthquake took place around 45 miles away from Indonesia, it only took 40 minutes for the first waves to invade the Indonesian coastline. Around 168,000 people were killed in Indonesia, while many were left homeless. The loss of property was estimated at around $9 billion. The global economy suffered a $14 billion loss as a result of this tragedy. The tsunami waves made its way to Thailand, India and several other countries, and 2.5 hours after the earthquake, it reached the Sri Lankan shores at exactly 9:25 a.m. Even the word tsunami was something new to Sri Lankans, and the waves inundated all roads and lands across the southern end of Sri Lanka. It also affected Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Trincomalee, Ampara, Batiklo and many other areas. In Sri Lanka, 35,000 people died. 21,441 were injured and some are still unaccounted for. The highest loss of life was reported from Batiklo. Another 150,000 were left homeless, but the devastation left parents without children and children without parents. A survey reported 979 children lost both parents from the tsunami, while 3,954 children lost either a mother or a father. To the many who perished from the Boxing Day 2004 tsunami, you will never be forgotten.
Memorials took place across many areas in the country in remembrance of those who lost their lives due to the tsunami.
The highest death toll recorded in Sri Lanka as a result of the Boxing Day tsunami was from the Perelia train disaster. Similar to any ordinary day, engine number 8050 set off from the Fort railway station towards Mataro at 6:55 this morning from platform number 5. The train reached the site of the disaster at 9:55 this morning. The train staff and locals paid tribute to those who were killed at the tsunami memorial located in Perelia. Another remembrance took place in Pinnaduwa. Many of those who died from Boxing Day tsunami are buried here. The staff at the Kalutara District Secretariat marched to the Kalutara Bodhi with floral tributes to pay respect to those who were killed. Another event took place in Hatton. Religious events were organized to remember the victims of the tsunami.
The Boxing Day tsunami destroyed many properties in Sri Lanka, and the villages of Samurdagama in Trincomalee suffered the worst. When Newsfirst visited the area, our team came across a group of people who have been waiting for permanent housings for the past 30 years.
Samudragama, a fishing village, is located in the Trincomalee city limits and is home to 150 families who were badly affected by the tsunami. 13 years ago, they were only left with clothes they were wearing. After moving about camps across the years, some families were given permanent housing in the Sumedan Karapura, Gamanupura, Uppueli and Samanpur areas. However, 8 families are still waiting for permanent housing. According to these people, the reason given by authorities for not awarding them with houses is they are considered as sub-families. Since they have been deprived of proper housing, these families have been compelled to return to their ancestral homes, which are within the 100-meter limit from the coastline, an area marked as dangerous area.
Many lost their families from the Boxing Day tsunami 30 years ago. Upul Chintaka is one of them, and his family was taken away from him on that day. Early this morning, Upul Chintaka took a walk down the Mathar beach, hoping he could feel the touch of his wife and child who lost their lives to the deadly waves. His little daughter would have been 13 years old today. But not only did the waves take away his daughter, it took also away the woman who carried half of the weight of his life.
My wife screamed at me and asked to go take my children. I took them through the back door. While I was moving, my child fell off.
The house was located in Vallavata, Thotumuna. Today, all the ruins remain, reminding him of memories of a loving family. Upul says after the tsunami, he does not favor the seas anymore. Upul was only left with his 2 sons and the clothes he wore on that day.
I used to be a fisherman those days, and I don't go to sea now. There isn't enough fish in the sea. Because of that, I'm working as a laborer and earning around 900 rupees a day. Now it is difficult. Those days we managed to make ends meet.
They were given a house to live 2 years ago at the tsunami village in Nupe, Mathura. They live in this tiny house amidst many hardships. Upul says no matter what challenges you come across, you must find a way to survive and overcome those challenges.
This tsunami turned my life upside down. I lost my wife and child. Now I'm facing the future with my 2 sons with the utmost difficulty.
People from Kumurupiti, Trincomalee have been deprived of proper housing since the time the war was raging on in the east-north.
Kumurupati in Trincomalee comes under the purview of the Kuchraveli Divisional Secretariat and is home to many families who were battered by the war. Their initial home was the village of Erakandi, but as the conflict intensified, they were forced to flee in 1986. Since then, these people have been living in IDP camps located all over the country. Following the end of the conflict, these people moved back to their ancestral homes, but what they found was strangers had taken over their lands. For the past 4 years, these people have been living with the aspiration of having a permanent house for themselves. Today, these villagers have commenced construction of a house with housing aid given by the government. They allege the government is yet to release funds for the construction of the roof. Many in Kamurupatti depend on the fishing industry, and due to the inclement weather, they have not been able to engage in the trade. When the locals question authorities of the remaining funds for construction, they are never given a proper reply.
A group protested at Kittul-Uthua Bridge obstructing the Habar-Trincomalee Road against the failure to solve the threat from wild elephants. The protesters voiced their anger by obstructing one lane of the road. They are residents from Kittul-Uthua, Alut-Oye 25 villages. They claimed during the recent past around 25 houses as well as cultivations were destroyed by wild elephants. They alleged despite informing authorities about issues, they are yet to be given a proper solution. 2 people drowned while bathing in the Katunaria beach. According to the police media unit, the information related to the incident was reported to police around 10:40 p.m. yesterday. The victims were residents of Katunaria aged 47 and 35 respectively. Their remains are currently placed at the Maravilla hospital. The post-mortem is expected to take place today, and the Maravilla police is further investigating into the matter. Leader of the JVP, Andrew Kumar Dissanayake, criticised the United National Party while speaking to candidates in Minipay.
Before Ranil Wickremesinghe became the Prime Minister and before they came into government, they were unable to even pay the electricity bill for their party headquarters, Sirikota. Do you recall how this party, which could not pay the electricity bill, advertised on television ahead of the August general elections? It cost 150,000 rupees to air a 15-second advertisement on television. How many times did their advertisements air? The United National Party, after taking over the government, even advertised in newspapers. How many pages did they take over for this? Did Ranil Wickremesinghe acquire Aladdin's lamp after he became Prime Minister? What has happened? They used the money from the central bank. If you had taken an agrarian loan or a loan for a shop or pawned your jewellery after the 27th of February 2015, you will be paying a higher interest rate. I asked this from the UNP supporters. You voted for the UNP in 2015, but they never captured the rogues. They protected the rogues.
The 2015 and 2016 bond scams, the biggest theft in Sri Lankan history. Who should be held responsible for this grand theft? Who caused millions and millions in losses to the country's state banks? Who stole EPF money, the wealth you earned with your own sweat and blood? Who bowed down to fraud and corruption and allowed this massive theft? The entire nation awaits the final report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry on the issuance of Treasury bonds. The first to expose the bond scam, Newsfirst.
This is a wrap of lunchtime news for the day. Do join us again at 1:55 with more news.